Hey y'all, it's Friday, August 7th, 2026, and I just time traveled. um, yeah, it's not that deep. It's just listening to music. I think the subject of time travel through music has been talked about a lot, but it's so trippy when you experience it, or I should say, when I experience it. Today I was listening to some reactions to videos kind of in the background while I did some housework, and this musician was reacting to Supertramp School. And it's a great song if you've never heard it. Supertramp is a interesting band with lots of different styles within their music. But this particular song is about being young and going to school, and obviously, and being told what to do all the time, and just kind of being, you're filled with doubt. You're just filled with doubt. You're working it out, blah, blah, blah. Adults are telling you what to do. You're told not to criticize and all that kind of stuff. And it brought me back in my mind to a time when I was, I would say, about 12 years old. And I was in, I believe, 7th grade. Could have been 6th or 7th. Probably 7th grade. And I was not grounded in myself and what I wanted to be in life, and I was very just kind of all over the place searching for an identity, as most people are probably at 12. And I had a group of friends, and we would hang out and play Dungeons and Dragons and goof around like kids will do, and since I was 12, I was starting to experiment with alcohol and weed. Mostly weed. It was easy and available. So I had this group of friends, and one of my friends, his older brother, would hang out with us. Well, not really hang out with us. He would just be kind of on the periphery of our silly friend group. And he had different taste in music than us, a little more sophisticated, I guess you might say. And he liked progressive rock like Genesis and Old Journey. If you know, you know. Old Journey is pretty progressive rock. And he liked Supertramp. And this was a time when Supertramp had, I think they barely released Breakfast in America, but the music that he was into was before that. Breakfast in America was kind of a turn for the more commercial sounding music that they did. But he was into this album called Crime of the Century, and Crime of the Century has a song called School, and it's like I said, it's about being young and being told what to do and being full of doubt and all that. And it just reminded me of being 12 years old and just not sure how to be in the world and how to act and how honest to be with my friends about not really knowing how to be in the world, and the bravado that you have to exemplify as a young man, or you feel you have to exemplify, is kind of crippling, or at least it was to me. I can't speak for everybody, because I was very doubtful and unsure about the way I was going. Eventually, during that time, I figured out, I could be a rocker stoner dude with long hair, and there was like a pre-made identity. I could wear rock t-shirts and kind of live my life to get stoned and listen to music and goof off with my friends. And that's fine for a while, and I was there for way longer than I should have been, but that's another story. But I was hanging out with this group of friends, and a few of these friends ended up betraying me in a huge way. I had really bestowed my trust in them, and they ended up breaking into my house and stealing a bunch of money from my dad. And they actually showed up like a couple days later at my house when my parents were gone, and they were driving a kind of a hoopty Chevy Impala with big wheels on the back. Like in the late 70s, that was kind of a style, like a hot rod. And they were wearing like nice clothes, and they showed up at my front door because they knew my parents were gone at that time, and they were taunting me. And at the time, I didn't really understand. I was like, why are these guys wearing nice clothes, and how did they get this car? They were barely 15 and 16, some of these guys. And I realized later, after a little bit of consideration and investigation by the police, that they had been the ones that stole this money from my father and kind of gone through my parents' personal things. And these are people that I had really put my trust in, as you do in a way when you are an adolescent and your friends are thick as thieves, thick as thieves. Yeah, they're thick as thieves for sure. And it broke me really hard, and it left me with this doubt of how I should be in the world and how I should interact with people and how much of myself, my real self, I should show to people. And it set me back a long way, or maybe it really helped me understand that everybody, no matter how they may present themselves as a solid, positive force in your life, everybody doesn't have the best intentions for you, and they're not maybe morally centered to not take advantage when presented with the opportunity. So it was a good lesson, but it really broke my naivete. It just broke my youthful spirit at the time. And School by Supertramp was kind of playing at that time in my head and on my speakers and with my friends. And so now I listen to that song and I'm like, oh man, it all comes back. And it's so brutal. And something I was also reflecting on is that song is about doubt, about how to go forward. And I was 12 years old or so when I was listening to it then, and I'm listening to it now, and I have just turned 60, and I'm about to do some big life changes that I am unsure about, and I am full of doubt. And I try to just go forward with discernment and try to make the right decisions. But I'm human, and I'm fallible, and I know that it's a tough road to go down when you're presented with some options, and these kind of options can really affect the rest of your life. And so I'm at that point right now, and I'm reflecting on how I, and probably a lot of people, we never really lose that sense of doubt and unsureness about how to proceed forward. I think that some people find remedies for that through religion and spiritual practices and that kind of thing. And I do that to an extent. And maybe I just am short on faith, or just too over analytical of that kind of thing. But doubt creeps in all the time, and it's there, and it wakes me up at night, and I'm puzzling over decisions I have to make, and also, regrets about decisions I've made in the past, and it sends me down a rabbit hole of thinking about my life choices and how I've made major mistakes and how I really want to avoid them in the future. And all this stuff comes from all this stuff that came up today just came from listening to a song, and it's a beautiful thing in a lot of ways. I don't want to just go through life like la la la, everything is fine and everything's gonna work out and all that. I want to take my steps carefully, and being introspective helps, and listening to music and understanding that the things that I'm going through are not things that just I am going through, and that a lot of people are going through. And so that was my musical time machine moment for today. And I'm sure I'll probably have another one today, because I'm always listening to music. Anyway, that's it. I just wanted to ramble on a little bit about the musical time machine effect in my life, and just one example of what happened today with School by Supertramp. And if you haven't listened to School by Supertramp, give it a listen. It's super good, in my opinion. It's beautiful. It's textured. The lyrics are evocative of the confusion and unsureness of being a child going to school, and then perhaps carries on into your adulthood like it does with me, where I'm not quite sure. And every situation is kind of a school to me. Every moment is a classroom. At least that's the way I try to look at it. And I'm doing okay. I'm not failing. I'm not getting A's, but anyway, that's it for the ramble. I hope y'all are well. I hope y'all are doing good things, and I will check in very soon. Keep passing the open windows, and love each other. See ya.